What's up everyone, Z-Dub here, and thank you for stopping by and checking out my first impression initial review of Destiny 2 Season of Arrivals. Now today has certainly been a whirlwind of new information dropped for the future of Destiny, and it looks like we have better days ahead, Guardians. I think they got the message with the poor reception of last season, and they really stepped up their game for this particular piece of content and for what's to come. Now if this is your first time stopping by for one of my reviews, let me start by saying this. All my game reviews are done from a critically honest perspective. I feel like you shouldn't have to force yourself or convince yourself to have fun with something. So if you're like me and you're looking for the best experiences out there, ones that are truly worthy of your time and money, you come to the right place. So if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do, so you don't miss out on any future videos, and hit that button and bell, and you'll be up to date with all my content. Now let's get into this. Destiny 2 Season of Arrivals. Can Bungie redeem themselves from the last couple rinse and repeat content drips in the past couple of seasons? Can they regain their audience and give us a reason to grind again? So far from my experience with this, I think they can. It's no secret I absolutely loathed the last season. I had no pull to even grind for anything in the content they released. There was nothing aspirational or anything to even want to shoot for. But with this drop today, surprisingly, I actually was really enjoying myself. This is my first impression day one, so my opinion may change, but as of now, I think there's a lot of fun to be had here. Now this expansion starts really strong with some great cutscenes and lore building from the moment it begins. I could tell they definitely put a lot more effort into this, and I mean a lot. This actually felt like a mini campaign, which is what I think fans of this game expect and crave. Now from the moment I turned it on, for some reason I was extremely excited. Now maybe that's due to how hard they kept this information under wraps. I think the anticipation and being in the dark about everything that was to be released gave it a very fresh feel of discovery, which I really appreciated. Now the amount of content here on day one was a welcome change to the slow drip releases they tried in the past seasons. After the cutscenes, they drop you in a fresh mission. Not a rehashed area or a repurposed strike just to collect some items, but an actual campaign style mission. I felt immediately like I was playing a fresh piece of the story, and it felt great. And it was long overdue. Now it truly feels like this is the next chapter of Destiny, and there's a lot to come. Besides the new opener mission and story-heavy cutscenes, this expansion brings a new public event with it that's tied to the new mini-campaign and the future grind of the season. Now before I get too deep into the PvE content, let's talk about the free exotic you get with the Season Pass, Witherhoard. Now in a word, wow, this thing is an absolute beast to play with. I use this in my primary slot for almost the entirety of my gameplay. It fires a well on the ground for damage over time, or a powerful concentrated blast if fired directly into an enemy. It's a monster in Crucible too, so I expect a nerf coming soon. Now there's a Catalyst quest available from Banshee, and it's definitely worth working towards, as this will be a favorite for quite some time. Now the new public event we have here is called Contact. I really enjoyed it compared to the Seraph Tower event of last season. This seems bigger to me and it has a decent challenge. This event's got the feel of Escalation Protocol and the Blind Well, but in a very good way. The event leads up to summoning a named boss to complete it, which is what I feel the Seraph Towers were lacking. I really hope the bosses rotate and there's some complex mechanics to take them down. All I gotta go on right now is just week 1's content, so it's hard to tell. I also hope they include weekly specific loot to grind for, similar to what we had with the Escalation Protocol. If they do what we had there, this will really have some longevity. If it's the same boss over and over and just the typical loot pool, this won't hold up to the test of time. Another item as part of the update today is a brand new high-level dungeon to be released. This is free to all players and should provide that aspirational content that you gotta gear up for. Without content like that, power level means kinda nothing. So it's nice they brought something endgame here. While it's not a raid or a mini raid, it's a welcome addition right now, and it's almost as good. I mean almost, not quite. This is the kind of content they should be releasing every update. While I haven't completed it yet, I bet it'll be great and I'm super excited to take it on. Additionally, as part of the content today, they added new items in the armor pool and a new Umbral Engram that you can drop in the world. This can either be decrypted or you can use a new station called the Recaster and you can decide what you want to decrypt it as. This is similar to what they did on the moon with items in Shadowkeep, but as of right now, it still feels pretty fresh while it's not totally a new idea. Now the Recaster provides a grind that can be upgraded just like the Seraph Bunkers, for several perks, but it seems to have a different feel to it, and I'm enjoying this one much better. Now to go through the initial content here, not counting upgrading the Recaster, it took about 2 to 3 hours, which to me was adequate. I enjoyed the journey, it didn't feel like they padded it too artificially to inflate the game length. It starts very strong with the first mission, gives you some fun activities to complete in between while learning about the new Ingrams and the Recaster, and it ends with a final new mission called Interfere, and it's really well done and I enjoyed completing it. So the real question here, is there enough content to keep players occupied and coming back week to week, or is this all this update has? It might be all it is for a bit, we'll see what next week brings. I sure hope there's some secrets and more to come, but either way I enjoyed what they dropped today and it feels more in line with what we should expect from the Season Pass considering it costs about $10. So in closing, I think they heard their fan base and they're making several improvements as this feels a bit more like a return to form. Maybe not a ton of new content here, but this is a season and not a full-blown expansion, and if the new public event winds up rotating bosses and drops, I'll be really satisfied with what is here. So for my fun or not recommendation, this is a solid update for Destiny players looking for something new to do in the game, and I give it a recommend. Now let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with me? Are you happy with this over last season? Does it feel substantial enough to you? I'd love to hear what you gotta say. Thanks for stopping by and watching, and if you enjoyed this and you're interested in honest reviews focusing on whether a game is purely fun or not, or whether a game will wow you, subscribe so you don't miss out on any future gaming content. Well, I gotta get back to upgrading this Recaster and make sure my power level's high enough to hit this dungeon later, so I'll see you next time. This is Z-Dub out.